Hey, I wanted to talk about little different concepts of training. So many times people tend to use a training as a specific goal marker. I want to achieve X in 3 months' time, or something like that. I truly believe that training should have different phases throughout the year, and it should represent a larger vision of what you have for your life. So those micro goals are great and they're good, but they should be just that, micro goals, little pivot points that you get to where you know you're moving forward for the larger vision. And the reasoning behind that is because training, the physical movement and expression of your body, is something that we need, that we have to do. So it's great to get to a specific goal and feel progress, feel that you're moving forward. But when you have a larger vision, a larger map in your head of what you want to achieve, overall, it gives you more power, more strength, and more determination to continue thriving forward, even past those little micro goals. So once, for example, many times I've seen people train for a specific event, work their butts off, and right when they hit that event, whether it's getting in shape for a wedding or running a marathon, something like that, when they hit that event, afterwards, what happens is they no longer have another goal to achieve or to work towards, so they just let it all go. All that hard work they did to get to that level, it just goes away. Everything just fades, and then you're back to square one. And that, to me, seems like the most frustrating thing ever. You're going to want to start back again for another goal later on when you're back to square one after all the work you did. That leaves you the feeling and the sensation of, oh, it's really not worth it. I'm going to work my butt off and then I'm going to be back in square one. And that's not a good way to map it out. So what I believe is that what we should do is get a big vision of what you want to be emotionally and internally, and in terms of your living status and feelings, and have your training program match that. So for example, I truly believe, and that's the way I design programs for my clients, is there's parts of the year where we're working mostly on strength. There's parts where we're working mostly on conditioning. There's parts where we're working mostly on flexibility, mobility, and overall movement. And what this does, it creates this overall balanced sense of yourself, right? With this greater vision. Because when you associate all these factors with other aspects of your life, it becomes profound. So for example, strength, training on the strength and trying to get stronger, it represents something more internal, something that we all need, which is if something knocks you down, have the strength to stand back up from it, right? To have that drive to push yourself past those difficult points in your life. Conditioning, we call it fire here. So strength we call iron, conditioning we call fire. Fire is the concept of conditioning, and you may call it cardiovascular activity and things like that, but it's resilience. Is being able to continue to push through on a steady state where things may be going uphill, very tough on you, but you can keep going. You can keep going because you built that resilience, you built that willpower. And finally, mobility. I mean, this one's pretty self-expressive. You want to be mobile enough. You want to be flexible enough, obviously in your body, but also in life. So in life, sometimes when we're too rigid, we tend to get knocked down easier, right? So think about a building that's built very rigid and there's an earthquake, it's going to tumble down. But if you give some elasticity to that building, it's going to be able to absorb it. That's what we want to be representing in our lives as well. Not so rigid on certain things. Yes, we want to be strong and be able to push through, but we also want to have the flexibility to adapt and adjust along the path, because it becomes a point where you can figure out new opportunities of growth when you're a little bit more flexible and not focused and phased on just one possible outcome that you come to expect. So that's my 2 cents regarding training and mapping out for the entire year.